Hello friends, today we're going to be talking about how to get into vacation rental properties. Is there a secret to get into vacation rental properties? Is it as easy as some people make it out to be? Well, it's not, especially in today's economy, but by the end of this video, I will show you how to get into vacation rental properties and avoid some of the major mistakes that would create a challenging experience for you from the get-go. Go back 15, maybe even 10 years ago, and you probably would have never even heard the term vacation rental property. Well, today it's synonymous with one of the fastest growing industries or segments in all of real estate investing. And many people want to participate, they just don't know how. And that's completely understandable because getting started is probably the biggest holdup for most people. However, that is exactly what we'll cover today by first explaining what the vacation rental business is. Secondly, I will help you understand what research you need to do in order to find the perfect vacation rental home, and not only where to look, but what to look for. And finally, I will show you how to keep your vacation rental properties in the black. If you're ready, let's go. So understand this, the vacation rental, short-term rental business is one of the fastest growing segments in all of real estate. And they're usually located in areas where people vacation to. And think about it, if you think back on the last 3 to 5 vacations that you took with your family, where did you stay? How many of you stayed at a hotel? Chances are, I would say a majority of those places, you stayed at a short-term rental. And why is that? Why are they so popular? Well, number one, people always have wanted a vacation. And especially now, we're seeing a lot of vacation numbers, tourism numbers, beat numbers that they've never hit in years past. And why do you think that is? I think one of the reasons between 2020, 2021, even parts of 2022, I think people felt a little bottled up with COVID and they couldn't get out. They couldn't travel very much. There's a lot of places that were shut down, closed down, but recently people are starting to get out. And I think that the desire to vacation is probably more prevalent now than it ever has been. And rather than going somewhere and staying at a hotel where you've got 4 of you in a hotel room, your bedtime is the same bedtime as your 10-year-old, your 12-year-old, getting a vacation rental where there's multiple bedrooms, you can spread out, there's a place to cook your own food. That's the type of experience that people want. They want to be able to have that versus staying at a hotel. That's why they become so popular. And even if you just look on TV or Netflix, there's videos, there's documentaries, there's podcasts all about vacation rentals, some of the coolest places to stay, Airbnb rentals. It is just becoming more and more popular every single day. And I know for me and my family, anytime we travel, we always look to stay at a vacation rental or short-term rental rather than getting a hotel. Now, another reason they're so popular is because they become money makers. If you compare a short-term rental to a long-term rental, it might be one unit, and if you rent it out long-term, you might be getting $1,500 to $2,500 a month on a house, on a single-family home. But if you can turn that single-family home in an area that's desirable into a short-term rental, you're typically getting nightly rates of maybe $200 to $400 a night, and you're getting an occupancy of, say, maybe 20 nights a month, 15 nights a month. You're looking at $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month versus that $1,500 to $2,500. So that's another reason they become so popular is you can have one residence, one door that's making quite a bit of money on short-term stays. So let's talk about how we get you the right vacation rental. What do you need to do? What do you need to look for? So number one, when I search for vacation rental properties, I do the same thing every single time. And that's always the starting point for getting into vacation rental properties is where do you look and what do you buy? So number one, I always do a Google search. Where is the best place to own and buy a vacation rental property? And I'm going to look at a bunch of different publications. There's going to be a lot of people that give you their opinion, and that's just it. That's their opinion. There's some that are backed up by data like AirDNA or Evolve, or some of those have been in the business for a long time and they're able to give you real world input. But I look at the ones who've bubbled to the top year after year rather than maybe a one-hit wonder, one that shows up this year but didn't any other years. Once I have the areas that are continuously up there for most of the time in the top 20, 30, wherever it might be, I do additional research to see why people are vacationing there. If I know why people are going there, that's a big reason to maybe look and investigate and research even further. So once you have that area, you do the research, you get some of the tourism numbers and how many people are visiting there. One that's popped up recently that I've been interested in is Acadia National Forest up in Maine. And they just had an article come out about 3 months ago. Are these cities able to maintain the tourism numbers that are growing every single year? So if they have 3.5 million visitors every year and it's growing, there's going to be more need for vacation rentals and Airbnbs, but you just can't go off of that. You've got to do additional research, which I'll talk about here in a second. So once I have the Google search, once I have the places places I like, once the data backs it up as far as like tourism numbers, I then do a deeper dive into airdna.co. That is the golden goose for all data when it comes to vacation rental properties. And there's 3 metrics you can get on there. Now there's a free version and you can still get these 3 metrics, which I like to use, and it's average nightly rate, it's gonna be occupancy rate, and average monthly rate. So if you know how much on average people are paying to stay in that area, on average how often it's occupied, and the average monthly revenue, you can start to do some real analysis to see if financially it makes sense. And once you have all of that data, you've been able to do the Google search, you know the top areas, you've got tourism numbers to back it up, you've got AirDNA numbers to back it up, you need to do even further research, and here's what you need to do. You need to look at these areas. Number 1, regulation. Now why is regulation important? Because, for example, if you go up to Acadia National Forest in some of those towns, they've got regulations that do not allow short-term rentals or that conflict with short-term rentals. Because you gotta think about it. You have long-term residents that are not really liking all these guests coming and going from a home right next to them. So you've got to be able to consider that regulations. We own a property up in Island Park, Idaho, and recently there's been a challenge with regulations where they're talking about, do we limit the number of guests per room? Because you have some areas that have 2 bedroom, 2 bath, and they have a loft upstairs that has like 15 beds. So they advertise it as a home that can fit 15 to 20 people, but what the city is noticing is the sewer systems aren't capable of handling that many people in a 2-bathroom place with a septic system that's only built for maybe 4 or 5 people, not 15 or 20 every single night. And so they're having regulations. They've been talking about having county meetings, city meetings. Do they need to reduce the amount of people that can stay at a 2-bedroom versus what they have in place right now with these lofts? So regulation is vitally important to understand so you don't get in trouble once you buy a vacation rental property. Second thing is you need to understand, can you afford that area? If everything is priced above $1 million and your budget's $500,000, don't go any further, look at the next area. Third thing, active listings. Are there already vacation rental properties there, and are they seeing success? Or are they being rented out? You can go ahead and click on their link, Airbnb link or Vrbo link, click on their calendar and see if they're being rented out. The fourth thing is understanding optimal size. Now, when I say optimal size of a home or a vacation rental property, we're looking at bedroom and bathroom count, right? That's really important as far as understanding the right type of property to invest into when looking to get into vacation rental properties. And the fifth thing is the revenue target. Now, here's a simple analysis that I use every time I look at a vacation rental property. Number 1, is the annual revenue at least 10% of the purchase price? If it is, it's worth considering. It's worth doing a deeper dive to see if you can increase those numbers. If annual revenue is 15% of the purchase price, so let's say you have a property that's $500,000 and it's doing $75,000, that is a good deal. That's something that I continue to analyze deeper and deeper to see if I could either improve those numbers or get it at a better price, or find a property that maybe would fit the price I'm looking at to be able to give me those types of numbers. Now, the last one I look at is if annual revenue is 20% of the purchase price, that is a great deal. That's a do not pass up deal. That's one that I would probably engage in, do all of my research first, but one that I'd probably pull the trigger on. If you don't, send it my way. I'm happy to look into it. So that brings us to the most important part of the video. After you've done all your research, you found a property that meets the financial criteria as well, and you're ready to pull the trigger, how do you run your vacation rental property like a boss? Well, number 1 that I tell everybody, when doing that research, you want to find a unique property, or you want to do something to that property to make it unique. For example, we bought a home in Orlando, Florida, near Disney. Obviously, there's thousands of vacation rentals near Disney that people use. So we spent a little bit of extra money to theme out all the rooms upstairs for the kids and even the playroom to theme it out as Jurassic Park. It's made a world of difference, and the reviews you get just commenting on the themes is amazing. Also, for example, we own a vacation rental property in Broken Bow, Oklahoma. It's by Broken Bow Lake. It's amazing. We did a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. You might say, well, why would you do that? The research we did, you've got a lot of couples that are trying to get away for a weekend or a couple nights from Dallas, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Little Rock. It's been wonderful for us. It's rented out at least 75% of the time annually, and so that does really well for us. And as I mentioned, making sure your property stands out, not just for maybe the views that it has or theming things out, but putting things in there that are memorable. I know an Airbnb that has an ice cream maker in there. Man, it is a hit for everybody that stays there, right? We've put in some of ours, some of those hot dog rollers. If you go into like a gas station, you see the hot dog rollers. Man, it's wonderful for people that are traveling some of our bigger vacation rentals that have kids. It's awesome. We've had lots of comments on it. Having a pool table, having other games that they can play, having yoga mats, having different things that attract people that are unique and different, ultimately will make your property stand out. And if doing so, that's going to make owning a vacation rental that much more enjoyable for your guests and easier for you to manage. And the last thing, you've just got to make sure that you are very responsive to any requests or questions that come in. People are looking for answers quickly. And I know sometimes if you're doing something else, that can be kind of annoying, but trust me, if somebody's messaging you looking for your property to stay there, they're also looking at other ones. So the quicker you respond, the better. Plus that sets the tone from the get-go that you can be very responsive when they stay at your property. And you've also got to have systems to run everything, right? You've got to have systems in place to make sure that the cleaning is intact, that if maintenance needs to be done, you have somebody that can do that. You're part of Facebook group pages in that area that allow you to quickly ask a question and receive responses. All those things will help you run your vacation rental the right way. And if you run it the right way, be able to run it like a business, you'll see the success that you want. And these are some things that I've done for my vacation rental properties that I've seen work out well and how I've got into the vacation rental properties that I own. But I'd be interested in any questions or comments you have. So please comment below. Let's engage in a dialogue. And as always, I've got a free vacation rental calculator for you. It's free of charge. Just click on the link below, aaronsfreetraining.com, no strings attached. And if you do that, you enter all the information in and it spits out to you whether it's a good deal or not. It's vital. I've used it for all of my vacation rental properties. Once again, thanks for stopping by. Have an amazing day.